Hey peeps, welcome back to What Are You Jamming? I'm your host Chris Owen. If you're new here, this show will explore the journey, the path of musicians and their bands. Where they started, what shaped them, what they survived, what they're creating now, and of course, I ask the question, what are you jamming? You're currently hearing Rose Thorn Necklace by Ghost Bath underneath me, and today I'm joined by Dennis of Ghost Bath. At the center of this conversation is the album Rose Thorn Necklace, a record born out of depression, reflection, and the kind of emotional honesty the Ghost Bath have become known for. Dennis and I talk about how the band started as a college size project, its roots in hardcore and post-hardcore, while he calls what he does rock and roll, and eternal emotion matters more to him being a geography when it comes to shaping sound. We get into touring, the exhaustion and the reward, his music first, lyrics-related writing process, Fender guitars, now creating this record became a way to cope and push forward. It's heavy, it's thoughtful, it's surprisingly grounded. Let's get into it. Recording, like what I'm hearing now, is better than the other recordings I've done, so thank you for that.
Yeah, I got a Yeti, so I'm good.
How's today treating you, man?
The day?
Yeah, so far.
Pretty good so far. I've just been working on some footage I just got from China, and I'm trying to fix the audio because they sent like the dry signal, so I'm just trying to figure out what I can do with that right now.
Oh yeah, so for people who are listening, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Dennis. I play in the band Ghost Bath, play rock and roll, and yeah, that's me.
Is that what you tell people that's rock and roll? If like someone asks what your band sounds like?
Yeah, I tell them rock and roll. It's more, I don't know. I feel like it fits sort of just our vibe, just who we are, more than like black metal. I feel like we're more rock and roll feeling to me.
Yeah. A lot of people will be like, "What is black metal?" And you're like, "Man, do I really want to get into this?" It's like people I used. I mean, I recently got laid off. Not a big deal. Don't worry about it. I'm not upset about it. But if you would ask, "Oh, you do podcasts? What's it about?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I had to go into this because I don't like hawking myself. Because when they ask about it, I'm like, okay, here, I feel like I'm selling it to you, and I don't want to do that. It's kind of
Yeah, I'm the same way. I totally understand. So I'll just say, oh yeah, I play rock and roll. It's really an easy way to just describe what I do, I guess.
Just moving on. So, how did Ghost Bath actually start?
Well, this is a while ago now.
10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, more than that now. So my first EP came out like end of 2012, beginning of 2013. So yeah, I was in like touring bands my whole life, and the band I was in prior to this one called I Apparatus, we were sort of done, and I don't know, I wanted to keep making music, and so I recorded some things by myself just for fun. I went back to college, and I was just doing this on the side because I love creating music.
Yeah.
So it just started out as sort of just a hobby, a fun side project. And, it obviously took off from that point. And it became sort of my main, my main job. Like, while I was still in college, we got signed to Nuclear Blast.
Yeah.
So then I just started touring full time and stuff like that. So
like, were you musical growing up at all?
yeah, I started playing, let's see, my grandparents got me a little keyboard where the keys lit up to teach you how to play the notes.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first things I remember playing. But then all through school, I picked up whatever I could. So I think it was like 4th, 5th grade, we could do orchestra. So I played the viola, and then I moved on to the trumpet, then the saxophone. And then when I turned 12, I asked for a guitar for my birthday, and I've been playing guitar ever since then. So
what were you listening to as a teenager? Like before you started I guess playing music like with bands. What were you listening to?
let's see. At first it was a lot of hardcore, post-hardcore type stuff.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Midwest in North Dakota, and so a lot of like emo post-hardcore was really big back then. Bands like The Chariot, Norma Jean, Under Oath.
Norma Jean,
Yeah, just stuff like that. I think you could probably still hear a little bit of that influence in what I write.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mostly what I would listen to. I listened to a little bit of black metal, like Dimmu Borgir was probably
Mhm.
the biggest one I listened to back then, is like symphonic stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was mostly just like hardcore, post-hardcore, noisy stuff. Fear Before the March of Flames, I remember
Yeah,
listening to a
yeah,
lot. Yeah,
yeah. I saw them, I was grouped in Dallas, and they came through, when they played Red Blood Club or whatever. But, uh,
nice.
what what's the band that got you, into, like, black metal? Like, I guess more the style you play now, like, what was the gateway band?
I'd probably give that to two different bands. The
Mhm.
first one would be Agalloch.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I walked into a record store in Minot, North Dakota, and I just saw the album cover for
Uh-huh.
Marrow of the Spirit,
Yeah.
and I just bought it. I didn't even know who they were. I didn't know the band name. I just bought it based off the cover, and
Uh-huh.
I listened to it in my car, and I was like, "Whoa, I want to make music like this,"
Yeah.
Um, the whole cello thing, and then the drum solo into the second song is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Um, I liked that a lot, and then really inspiration for, like, the vocals in Ghostbath, like, the high-pitched shrieks and the
Mhm.
DSBM vibes that I
Yeah.
have are
Yeah.
definitely traced back originally to Silencer,
Okay.
which I found randomly, and I thought it was hilarious, and I was showing everyone. I remember back before I even started the band, I met some of the guys, they were in a different band touring, and I was like, "Come to my car, I wanna show you this band," and I played Silencer for 'em to, like,
Yeah.
laugh at it, and then I don't know, I started liking it unironically, so I would
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
like, those 2 bands were the main inspirations for Ghostbath.
It's fucking awesome. So, the way I heard about Ghost Path is a couple years ago, I was reading a book called Negative Space by B.R. Yeager, and that shit's grim as fuck. And so for the whole week I was reading it, I would just listen to DSPM, and you guys came on Spotify, and
Okay.
yeah, and so that's how this was a couple years ago. So like, uh, Rose Thorn Necklace wasn't out yet. So, but yeah, I went back and I'm fucking stoked you're on the podcast. So thanks a lot for talking to me.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah, so there were the 4 years between Self-Loather and the new one, Rose Thorn Necklace. What has changed for you in the band over that time?
Oh, okay, well, Self-Loather, first of all, was the first record that we wrote as a full band, everyone
Yeah.
contributing their own parts.
Mhm.
Um, and when we first went to put it out, it was right at the in the middle of the pandemic? I
Yeah,
don't remember, it
yeah.
came in 2021, so yeah, pandemic was
2020
still
was the
going
band yeah,
on.
yeah.
So, yeah, we couldn't really tour on it right away, and, yeah, it just kinda, like, dampened that whole release, but that's why I think we gave it a few more years to tour on that record a bunch after the
Mhm.
pandemic, so I think it was 4.5 years between records. Um, and then since then, we've had this idea for our next record, the one that's not even out yet, that we're gonna be writing together as a band. But
Uh-huh.
in the meantime, I was like, "Okay, it's been, 4.5 years. We gotta put out some more music. We can't just, like, have nothing for this long period of time if we wanna keep touring," which we tour
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
So I just wrote Rose Thorn Necklace by myself right here in this office, and I don't know, I guess I got, like, really depressed, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna write music." So I just wrote the whole thing and worked on that, and that's why we put this out kinda in between Self-Loather and then the next record, which we're all doing together.
Because I know the one Self-Loather and the Sugars for that, they were like a trilogy, right? Like, you had, like,
Yep.
a
Yeah, that was the
concept, so
last part of the trilogy, yep.
what was I guess, the concept going into Rose Thorn Necklace?
Um, yeah, so that Rose Thorn Necklace was the first album not part of that trilogy
Mhm.
after it. Um, man, what was the idea? I guess I just wanted to write my own version of a DSBM record, not
Yeah,
try to I don't know, I wasn't trying to be super heavy, I wasn't trying to be
yeah,
super anything, I was just having fun with it,
yeah.
and I was extremely depressed while I was writing that one, so I don't know, it was just kinda, taking my feelings and putting them out into the music and just, like, expressing myself that way, and I
Yeah,
used, like, a lot of synth and all kinda weird dancey stuff. I
yeah.
think I had a little
Oh,
bit
yeah, I love that,
more.
dude. Yeah, yeah, on the yeah, Vodka Butterflies, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Let's do it." I was like, "Oh, shit." But,
Yeah, and I like that I don't know, I like that, danciness to DSBM, like, bands
yeah,
like Life Lover have
uh
that.
oh, I love Life
Something
Loader, yeah.
about that, I don't know, I feel like it's just, like, dancing while depressed is just, like, a weird, interesting feeling to me, so, yeah. Those are
Yeah,
just some of the concepts I had
yeah.
with working on it.
So speaking of like weird musical turns, how do you feel about terms like black gaze and like and post black metal? Do you really think about that at all when you think about your band?
I mean, we've been called so many different things. People call us black metal, say we're not black metal, say we're
Yeah.
black gaze, say we're post black metal, say we're post rock, hardcore. I
Yeah.
don't know. Whatever people, I think that's more to do just with, their own experiences with bands and the bands they've listened to and then who they relate us to. For
Yeah.
me personally, I'm not trying to be any one thing,
Yeah.
other than at least have sort of a DSBM vibe to it, because I think
Yeah.
that kind of ties together the band. But then my own voice will be in everything, so I think we'll just always sound like Ghostbath as long as I'm writing stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I don't know, I don't see us as black gaze really. I've never listened to shoegaze
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
I know that's really big right now, and like a lot of shoegaze bands are blowing up. So maybe we should have tried
Embrace
to
it
be
a bit.
shoegaze. But I don't know, you can't really chase trends like that. That's
Yeah.
not really gonna work, because by the time you do it, it's the next trend's already happening. So,
I think
yeah,
the
I don't
best
know.
bands are the ones that they write what they would want to listen to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Yep.
that's what I think you guys do, and it's dope. um, so so you said you're super depressed while making Rose Thorn Necklace, and did like writing? Does writing cathartic to you?
Yeah, the writing aspect of it is what's most cathartic to me. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so, whenever I'm depressed, I'll just like take out my guitar or piano or whatever and just write music, and that's just like the way I kind of deal with that negative energy and like turn it into something constructive or whatever.
Sure.
It was I was mostly depressed just because the last tour we did, I think, right
Uh-huh.
before, for some reason it just everything about it sucked. Like we were all sick the entire time,
Oh
and I was
fuck.
sick for like months after that, and just I don't know. It was just a depressing tour, and so that just like carried over when I got home, and then like the post tour depression. Most people who tour can probably talk about. It just all hit me at once, and then I was like, okay, I just need to like work on music and write this record.
Yeah. So are you still in North Dakota right now?
No, I live in Pittsburgh now.
Pittsburgh, like Pennsylvania.
Yep,
Alright. Uh, so when did you move?
I moved in 20 2021. I
Yeah.
think. I
Okay.
think it's been
Okay.
about 4 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you think like moving changed the way that music works for you? Like a location sometimes influences the sound. Has that do you like to give any credence to that, or is it just you think you would have written the same thing if you were back in North Dakota?
Um, I don't know. I guess it'd be impossible for it to have zero influence, but I just don't
Yeah,
think it has like a super strong influence on me. Like
sure.
most of what I write is about like stuff inside and things I'm thinking or feeling more
Mhm.
than like my surroundings, especially because I don't really leave my house that much. Like I just kind of hang out here. I don't really have like friends I go hang out with or anything. The
Yeah,
only time I
yeah,
do that is when I'm on tour.
yeah.
So I guess that changed a little bit because
Uh-huh.
when I was in North Dakota, that's where I grew up. I did have more friends to hang out with, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I guess I've
yeah,
been a little bit more isolated. So maybe that
yeah.
came through a little bit more.
Was there like a in Decorah that you lived in Minot or Minot? How's it pronounced?
Mine not.
Why not? So was there like a music scene there?
Yes and no. So like when I first grew up, there's a really big music scene, and
Uh,
for like how small the city was, I think it was like 35,000 maybe people. We
yeah,
just had bands coming through all the time, local bands. There's always shows every weekend.
that's
Like we
cool.
even had Fear Before the March of Flames come
Oh,
through, and I saw them
damn.
live in
That mu
Minot. So
must've been
yeah,
wild.
yeah, yeah, it was really cool. So yeah, I had all those bands growing up. Is a lot of hardcore bands, a lot of punk stuff.
Mhm.
But then it kind of fell off a little bit when I was older and like going into college. I don't know. It's not completely gone. It's just not like as big as it was.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I look back now and there's still shows and there's still bands and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a pretty big music scene. But I
Okay.
started touring when I was like 17. So I've
Yeah.
been touring for a really long time too, just playing out everywhere else.
What do you like? Do you like touring, or is it something that you kinda like, "Fuck, I have to leave now?"
Oh, I love touring. We
Yeah.
all we all really like it. It's one of those things like we'll be out touring
Yeah.
at a certain point, maybe like 2, 3 weeks in, we'll be like, okay, I want to go home to like rest because it can get pretty
Yeah.
exhausting, and
Yeah.
you want to see your family or you got to work or
Yeah.
whatever. But then once you're home for maybe about a week, you're like, I want to go back out,
Yeah.
So you
And
always want to
so
like, yeah.
I always ask this question. So, like, is performing live also cathartic for you?
Yes,
Uh huh.
it is not as much as writing for me. But I mean, the adrenaline of it, like the feeling of it on stage, it is cathartic. I would just say less so than when I'm actually writing the music and
Yeah.
creating. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Brian Funk from Thou a couple episodes back, and he was like, so is performing like cathartic?" He's like, "No," because I guess he has this feeling that the music they're making at the time, people weren't responding to it; they were just sitting there with their arms crossed. Do
Mhm.
you get that sort of feeling when when you play? Is it just you're just in the moment?
Um, yeah, I mean, we do get that a lot because, if we're playing with deathcore or hardcore or
Hmm.
heavy bands, we're not as heavy. We don't really have the same breakdowns or like buildups like that where people
Yeah.
can really dance or like even mosh as much to our
Yeah.
music as other music. So I do see a lot of people, standing there with arms crossed or whatever, but that's how I watch music. So I don't really
Yeah.
take that as like they're not into it. They're just,
Uh-huh.
taking it in and listening
Yeah.
and absorbing everything. But either way, like no matter how the crowd is, I'm sort of in my own world and I'm sort of like
Yeah.
feeling it myself. And like
Mhm.
you'll notice all of us on stage, we have a lot of energy. We're moving around a lot more than a lot of other metal bands, especially like the ones we've toured with. We're jumping around on stage and stuff like that. So I don't know. We just kind of make our own show. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter like what the crowd's doing. Someone in the crowd will enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I can't wait till they get to see you guys come through Kansas City or somewhere. The name Ghost Bath is also a badass name. Yeah, cool shit. What does it mean, and why did you choose it?
Rose Thorn Necklace you're talking
Yeah,
about?
but well, just the name of the band, Ghost
Oh,
Bath.
Ghost Bath. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, so I chose it. This was,
yeah, yeah. A while
12
back, yeah,
years ago. So
yeah,
try to remember it correctly.
yeah,
Um, so I was watching a TV show and or a movie, and one of my friends, like someone was getting haunted by a ghost and they're in a bathtub and they just yelled out ghost bath. And I was like, I like how that sounds. So
yeah, yeah.
that's where the original inkling of the idea came, just because I liked the way it sounded and I liked the combination of those two words. And
Hmm.
then from there, I kind of came up with my own meaning for it, which
Yeah.
one of my favorite poets is Sylvia Plath. She
Fuck
tried
yeah.
to kill herself by like walking into the ocean.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, that could be, what a ghost bath is. You
Yeah,
drown yourself and become a ghost. Dude, that's the ghost bath. So
yeah.
yeah, that's where the name came from.
It's a cool name, definitely. So let's change gears and actually talk about gear. Is there gear like what's your rig look like if you have one?
Um, so I've always used Fenders,
Yeah.
and which is kind of weird for metal. Like people have pointed that out since we started, and I think that comes from coming from the Midwest and like the
Yeah.
Midwest emo. They all use like Fender guitars. So
Yeah.
I use a Telecaster, and I've used
Eh,
one since the band began.
yeah.
Um, so single coils. Our other guitarist uses a Stratocaster. I just
Yeah.
love the way they sound. You can really hear the notes shine through because we
Mhm.
play a lot of melodic stuff. And with three guitars, you kind of have to make sure you can hear everything, or it'll just all
Yeah.
get muddled together. And then as
Yeah.
far as amps, we all use three different amps also, which
Yeah.
helps separate the guitars because if we're all using
Yeah.
the same guitar, it's just going to sound like the same thing. But
Yeah.
I've always used an orange rocker verb
Mhm.
Mark One, which is the first
Yeah.
one. I think it sounds the best out of the three. I just saw like a rig rundown with Jim Root from Slipknot, and he said the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, yes. He's like, the Mark One is sounds way better than the new ones. I'm like, exactly, yes.
Yeah.
The only thing bad about it is like the reverb tank keeps breaking on it because when
Oh,
it's in the
yeah.
trailer and it's jumbling around.
Oh, sure,
I
sure.
love the way the reverb sounds, but it keeps breaking, so I can't really use it. So
Do you
yeah, I
use
just play.
pedals? Do you
Um, Not as much. Like at first, I was trying to use a lot more, but all I use is a tuner with a buffer
Sure.
into I'll have a tube screamer just to boost my
Oh
signal a
yeah.
little bit during, like, if I'm doing like a little solo part, but
Hmm.
that's only used during that part. And then just the reverb because again, my reverb tank keeps breaking. So
Yeah.
I try to keep it as simple as possible because I just think the guitar and amp alone just sound so good together. I don't really need to mix it up with too many
Yeah.
extra sounds or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You know, like you with that, I got actually a Fender Telecaster Deluxe back there. Not a single coil, but it's still like you're saying, they do cut through. Like
Mhm.
instead of having I also have a Les Paul, which I also love, but it's just so thick. A lot of times I want that clarity, and so
Mhm.
I totally understand that part of it.
I just
So
picked up a Jaguar like 2 days ago, so I'm excited to try that out.
oh fuck yeah, dude! I had a Jaguar. I did sell it, not because I didn't like it, it's just I had, like, just stuff it was collecting dust 'cause I was playing other stuff, and I felt
Mhm.
like I wanted to a place to actually, you know where you could play it.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I'm looking through the questions here because it looks like I accidentally put some stuff twice. So give me 1 second. Yeah, okay.
All good.
So when you're writing lyrics or music itself, like, what comes first? Does the lyrics come first, or does music come first? Just your process.
It's always been the music first,
Yeah,
and I kind of record myself as I write is my process. So I'll open,
yeah,
I use just FL Studio and a
yeah,
Scarlett,
yeah,
one spot,
yeah.
and then I'll like usually the chords and the chord changes. That's my favorite thing to write, and just how the chords interact with each other. So I'll come up with a chord progression, and from there I'll
Mhm.
just layer stuff on top of it and write it that way. And then once pretty much everything's done, then I'll write the lyrics and do the vocals, to tailor them to the song.
Yeah.
And, at first, I'm not sure if you knew or not, but I didn't have lyrics at all for a long time,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
until
yeah, did
until
yeah,
Self Loather.
like
Yeah.
Secret Rose or something, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that would just be totally everything would be done, and then I just record the vocals directly onto it without lyrics. But,
Uh-huh.
with Self-Loather and then Rose Thorn Necklace, I did that a little bit, but yeah, I was writing the lyrics once the songs were completely done.
So, when it comes to lyrics, do you ever is it how much, like, of it is, like, I guess, like, personal for you when you're writing it? Do you ever just dress it up, or is it ever feel too honest to release something? If that makes sense to you?
Talking about the lyrics specifically?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I don't know, I like to mix it up. I like to make all of it personal in some ways, but sometimes I'll exaggerate one part, or
yeah,
some of it will just be, like, fantasy or what if this happened.
yeah.
Um, but it's all just, like, yeah, thoughts that I have randomly. So I don't know. A lot of the time it's I write the lyrics when I'm really depressed. So I don't even know what I'm really thinking.
Yeah,
I just I'll
yeah.
go back and read it later. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds really cool." I don't know how or why I wrote it like that way, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's dope shit. I'll say that's awesome. Um, so here I have a few ridiculous questions. You don't have to answer if you want to, but
Sure.
what would yeah? So what's if Ghost Bath had a mascot? Who would it be?
Like an existing mascot or just
No,
anything?
just anything. Could be
If Ghost Bath had a mascot,
yeah.
I would say Ophelia, probably from that painting.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's the most ridiculous song you secretly love?
Most ridiculous song I
Yeah,
secretly love.
I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Uh, a while back, I was driving from Dallas to Austin to go see Mono play, and the whole time I was trying to find it. Call me maybe that song on the radio. And I couldn't find it, but I secretly love that song. Not secretly. I guess I just told you. So is there anything like
Yeah.
that you're like, I yeah, I kind of dig this.
I mean, my problem with this question isn't that I don't have one, it's that I have so many. I don't even know which one to pick out because I listen to a lot of different stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I'll listen to 80s Japanese city pop. I'll listen
yeah.
to jazz. I'll listen
Mhm,
to just weird country music.
mhm.
Um, what I listen to is all over the place.
Yeah.
um, Let me think. I'm actually opened up my Spotify here so I can like see what there is. Okay, how about One of my favorites is called Weekend in Monaco by a band called the Rippingtons. And
Okay.
it's like a jazz fusion,
Yeah.
and it's really good, though. You'll have to check it out.
I will. So one more question in the fun expected category. Uh, Describe Rose Thorn Necklace as a snack or a food.
Rose Thorn
Mm.
Necklace is a snack or a food?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
red wine.
Oh, that's perfect. I would
Yeah.
have done the same thing.
Okay,
All right.
nice, yeah.
So here's the question of the show. I always ask it, and this I'm my favorite question. What are you jamming?
What am I jamming? So
Yeah.
right now,
Mhm.
probably still, 2 different things because 'cause they're completely different. The first is, like I mentioned, jazz.
Mhm.
I've been getting into a lot of jazz, especially jazz fusion.
Yeah.
So, one of the main artists, and I found him on YouTube, his name is Chick Corea.
Yeah.
Um, I think he passed away kind of recently, but he's a
Yeah. Rest in peace, Chip.
pianist.
Yeah.
Yeah. His stuff is insane. Like the thumbnail for the video that I clicked on was the drummer just
Mhm.
drumming with a lit cigarette in his mouth. I'm like, all
That's
right, I gotta
dope.
watch this. And then I played it, and it just, as the song goes on, it just gets crazier and crazier. And these guys, it's like a trio, and each one of them is just a master at their instrument, and like
Mhm.
super skilled. And I just find it so interesting. I think mainly because it's so different from what I do or write. Like my
Yeah.
stuff is a lot more simple. It's in 4/4 time signature usually, and just I don't know, it just focuses on such different things. So when I hear this crazy jazz fusion, it just really interests me, and I don't know, it's fun to listen to. And then the other thing I was gonna say that I'm jamming is slush wave, which is
Okay.
it's a subgenre of vaporwave.
Okay.
I own a vaporwave label, like I
Oh,
put out
nice.
vinyl and cassettes and stuff like that. And so I'm always listening to slush wave. It's really hard to describe. So if you just
Just look it up.
type in slush wave on Bandcamp or YouTube,
Yeah.
you'll find it and see it's like pretty ambient, very slow, calming stuff. I always put it on when I'm working on something
Mhm.
or if I'm reading or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the name of the label, by the way?
The label's called Geometric Lullaby.
Okay, geometrical. I'll make
Mhm.
sure to check that out when they get done here. Let me ask you, what's your favorite place to tour? Do you have like a favorite like city that you like think about when you're feeling like I can't wait to go there?
Um, well, the tour we just got back from was probably our best tour ever. I don't
Yeah,
know if we'll ever get to go back, but it was in Asia. And
yeah.
so we played, China, Japan, Singapore,
Ugh, fuck yeah.
Taipei, and Thailand. And it was just everything about it was insane. We actually have a tour documentary coming out probably next month, and it's like about 50 minutes long. You can kind of see how the shows were, how the tour went. It was pretty well done. Our friend came out and did that. But
Yeah.
as far as like in the US, I don't know. I always love going to like Chicago's always fun.
Hmm.
New York's pretty fun. I think I like Midwest and East Coast,
Yeah.
Northeast Coast are my favorite areas.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'd probably
Okay.
choose those.
Dope. Um, so when they'll just announce when that documentary's out, because I'm definitely want to see that.
Yeah, yeah, we'll make some posts. I'm just waiting for like Nuclear Blast. We're trying to figure out we got some like things to promote it and just figure out a date to put it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I really want to thank you for taking your time out. It's December 30th, so the night before the night. I really want to
Yeah.
thank you for.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for jumping on the mic and talking to me for a little bit.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, and that was Dennis the Ghost Bath. Big thanks to Dennis for pulling back the curtain on Rose Thorn Necklace, the mental weight behind the music, and what it really feels like to build something this emotionally raw and then take it on the road. You're hearing Well, I Tried Drowning by Ghost Bath underneath me right now, because subtlety has never really been that vibe. If this episode hit for you, go listen to Rose Thorn Necklace, support the band, and catch them live. Dennis is touring, your sleep schedule might not, but art requires sacrifice. And now you know what time it is. What are you jamming? Comment, DM, or go full 2007 blog era and email woodyjangpodcast@gmail.com. Stay loud, stay honest. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.